to introduce our valedictorian of the class of 2014, Jeremy Honig.
You know what? Before I begin my speech, let me take a selfie. On a more serious note, good evening, fellow graduates, teachers, administrators, dignitaries, friends, and family. Hi, Mom! It is truly an honor to be able to stand up here today in front of my peers. If you had asked me 4 years ago how I pictured what my high school experience would be, I would not have been very accurate with my prediction. As I began my freshman year, I thought the classes would be too challenging, the school lunches too gross, the teachers too mean, and the overall 4 years too long. But as I grew, both physically and intellectually, I learned to appreciate all that Haverhill High had to offer. I was challenged by a variety of courses, including AP classes that were worth the long hours of studying. I decided to rotate between the pizza line and the chicken line, sometimes even daring to eat the nachos. I discovered that the teachers weren't that bad, except for Mr. Harvey. Just kidding, of course. And sadly, I realized too late that the 4 years just weren't long enough for me to savor every moment. Bittersweet as it is to be leaving, I am glad to graduate and carry with me what I had gained from my high school experience. At Haverhill High, I was taught that I should try hard in school and learn for the sake of learning. I also came to know people of various cultures, creeds, and personalities, and I discovered how to coexist with them in spite of our differences. I now look forward to meeting new people once again in the fall. In the fall, I will be attending Worcester Polytechnic Institute, and my education at Haverhill High School has led me to that achievement. Although I have always been a Hillie, I'm extremely excited to become a WPI GOAT. Speaking of Hillies, I would like to reflect on the mystery surrounding the term. Many other towns would question, what is a Hillie? Usually, students try to respond with, it's a man who shoots a cannon on a hill, while others come up with some pathetic comeback. These are not the messages with which I want our class to leave. During college application madness, very often I met with my guidance counselor, Mrs. Bowden. In one of our conversations, she said something that will stick with me for a long time. You don't understand what a Hillie is, unless you are one. That is exactly the point that I want our class, and all future classes, to remember. The truth is, you aren't from Andover. You didn't go to Phillips, and you didn't go to Brooks. You went to Haverhill High School, and you understand how it truly feels to be a part of this student population. Whether you were involved in sports, or theater, or student government, or some other interest, our school offered you the opportunity to be a part of Hillie Nation, where everybody could belong. Being a Hillie is not a tangible 5-paragraph essay response. If you're a Hillie, you're living up to the word Hillie if you take pride in what you do. As fans, you are cheering wildly at football games. Being a Hillie means listening to the talent our school has at Coffee House. It means trying new things like archery and swim rescue, and not being afraid to introduce yourself to a fresh face in one of your classes. It includes being involved in a multicultural environment, a nation of young people, a Hillie Nation. If I seem a little excited over this, it is because Hillie Nation runs through my blood. My grandmother, aunt, mother, and sisters are all Haverhill High School alumni. And, along with my father and other family members, they have demonstrated their Hillie pride by supporting me in Haverhill High School activities, and I thank them for that. Along with a solid academic preparation and Hillie spirit I now have, high school has left me with some pretty fond memories. I recall my very first dance, thinking I was so cool for dancing with 2 senior girls. I also recall freaking out over my first English project that I thought would never be completed. A year later, I was thinking that I was so hipster in my photography class, especially when we used oatmeal containers to take black and white photos. And, yet again, I remember freaking out over my first AP exam. Or even this year, when the turnip survived the first round of the dodgeball tournament. We didn't want to win anyways. Or when Aeneas finally made it into the underworld, something only my Latin class will appreciate. I stand here today and ask you to take a moment to reflect on your high school experiences. Take a look around. All of you graduates have your own memories, some which you share with each other. Like you, during my 4 years, I have built friendships with many people who helped me survive high school, who were always there to talk with me and to laugh with me, to get yelled at for talking to me, and then continuing on with our chatter, to hang out with at lunch, and to help with schoolwork, and most of all, to be there when I needed them most. Graduation captures the only moment where we will all share in the same memory. Today we stand here, soon to be graduates, having endured and accomplished so much. I cherish every second of my high school experience that I can, no matter how challenging it seemed at times. And I hope you can all do the same. After reminiscing on the past and breathing in the present, what happens after this? What about the future? Next year, some of you are going to be attending college. Others will enter into the workforce. Some brave students may even volunteer to defend our country. Yes, I admit, you will all face new barriers that will seem impossible to overcome. At times, you may find yourselves feeling defeated, weak, and lost. But when this happens, all you need to do is to remember where you came from and to rely on the lessons that you have learned. Although many of you may relocate across America, or even the globe, you will always carry a piece of Haverhill High with you. May you always live with pride and spirit, knowledge and wisdom, and most of all, knowing that you have a place to come back to. Furthermore, may you always live up to being a Hillie. Make Hillie Nation proud. It is now your responsibility to try your hardest in college or at work or in the armed forces, to stay out of trouble and to make a difference in the world. If all the right cards fall into place, who knows? Some of you may become renowned entrepreneurs, while others may even discover the cure for cancer. Whatever you end up doing, make sure you are happy with your choices. If your dream is to move to California to pursue a music career, by all means, go ahead. You only have one life to live. Live it up. But keep that little piece of Haverhill close at heart, and you'll be fine along your journey in life. As I end my speech, I would like to turn back to the tiresome question, what is a Hillie? We are Hillies. Every graduate here. Proud, courageous, and supportive. A family. So go ahead. Taunt us all you'd like. Hillie Nation will stand, greater than all of the rest. Hillie Nation will grow, louder than any opposing team. Hillie Nation will gather, more connected than any other school. We are Hillie Nation. Congratulations, class of 2014. Thank you very much for the honor of speaking before you.